Welcome everyone to Online Yoga with Nita. I'm Nita, and today we're going to be doing a class specific for sciatica or low back pain. So if you struggle with any of this, if you have tight hips, a tight lower back, or you struggle with the sciatica nerve pain, this might be really good for you. We're going to be using a couple of things today. So yoga strap, or if you don't have a strap, you can use an exercise band, a towel, a belt, anything that you can wrap. Basically, we're going to be wrapping it around our foot for a few stretches. Um, if you don't have anything, you can still stretch the leg, but this might be a little bit easier. And yoga blocks might be helpful as well today, or books you can stack, and a bolster or a blanket you can roll up. Other than that, anything else you love to practice with is always welcome. Before we get started, I'm gonna pull a card here from the spiritual card deck. I love doing this now so you can set up the tone for the practice and maybe get a nudge or something for today. It says, my friendships support me, nourish me, and inspire me. Maybe we can see it there. So take that as it is. Maybe today you plant an intention or a seed, or think about a friend, send some loving kindness to a friend, or even, you know, think of yourself as your friend and give yourself what you need. So we're gonna get started in Shavasana. And for this, I invite you to grab a bolster or a blanket you can roll up and place it under your knees. That way, when you're lying down, it kind of alleviates a bit of that compression in the lower back from the get-go. So get comfy. And you can also use any cushions that you have available, but the blanket might have the perfect shape for you. So take space here. I'm gonna try not to cover my face with the blocks. There you go. Extending the legs down the mat, extending the arms next to you. And then just take a moment to land. To arrive today. Nowhere to go. Nothing to do. Just be here. In this space and in this body. You're welcome to soften your gaze or close your eyes if that feels safe in your body today. And start slowing down the breath. Taking deep inhales through the nose. And exhale it all out through the mouth. Maybe welcoming a sigh. Breathing in. Letting it go. Inhaling love in. Exhaling love out. And then continue to breathe at your regular pace. And just notice. Notice how the body is landing. Perhaps you came to this class because you do have some sensations around your lower back, your hips, or the sciatica nerve that runs from the low spine all the way down to the foot. Or maybe you just wanted a gentle stretch and a moment to breathe and move mindfully. Whatever brought you here, start extending that loving kindness to yourself for showing up. For gifting yourself this time And then if you do have some sensation or some tenderness, tension, send that breath to that body part. Whether that's the low back, whether that's the hip. Send your breath there. With each inhale, creating more space. And with each exhale, releasing tension. And remembering that, as always, in today's practice, if something doesn't resonate or doesn't feel good, or if your body's asking for something different, please take that. You have that choice. You know your body better than I do, better than anyone else. And remember that you can always fall back or anchor in your breath. Give yourself a couple more slow breaths. Getting a bit curious about how the body feels, but then also welcoming some kindness. Even if there's pain, be gentle, be kind. All right, then very slowly start fluttering your eyelids open if they were closed. Wiggling your fingers and your toes a bit. Give yourself a smile. And then very gently, so bending your knees and bring them towards your chest. Give yourself a hug. You don't have to go super tight. You can just be soft and gentle. If it feels okay, maybe you can sway from side to side. Beautiful. If you had a bolster or a blanket under your knees, move it to the side and bring your feet down. Keep the knees bent. And now bring just the right knee towards your chest. Keep the left foot down, knee bent. Just hug the knee as close as you can to bring it to your body and it feels okay. And then rotate your ankle, your right ankle, one way, maybe the other way. Start to wake up the muscles, the body, warm up a bit. And then this is where you're going to grab your strap, belt, band, if you have it available. Grab it with both hands. And then place the strap on your toe mounds of that right foot. Toe mound is this area here under your toes, right? And then you can keep the strap at both hands. That right leg doesn't have to extend all the way. You can keep a sweet bend as much as you feel comfortable. And then you can pull slightly towards you. We don't want to yank the leg, right? We have a tendency to just want to go here. So check in. So your low back is flush through with the mat. Shoulder blades are in. Back of the skull is pressing towards the mat. Now we're just holding the strap in place to feel that stretch in the back of the leg. Keep breathing here. And again, you can hold it both hands with one hand. If you don't have a strap, you're also welcome to just place your hands behind your hamstring and keep the leg in place. But I find that the strap gives a really good support. Now, eventually, you might want to extend the leg if that feels okay, right? So it really depends on how your body's feeling today. If not, you can keep the bend on that knee. And then on the next few breaths, place that left hand on the left hip to kind of anchor that hip down. And then maybe explore extending down that left leg, bringing that left foot down towards the bottom of the mat. That left hand can help you keep both hips grounded here. See how that feels. If that's too much, bring the foot back and bend that knee. And then on the next few breaths, you can stay here or maybe explore opening up that right leg towards the side. And so check in with the hand that's holding the strap. Sometimes we want to, again, kind of crunch. Stay grounded on your mat. Keep the elbow down. And just use the strap to keep the foot on, like in place. Shoulders down, shoulder blades in, hips grounded. Looking up, breathing. And the next breath or two, bring the leg back to center. Release the foot, bring the foot down. You're welcome to bend both feet and give yourself a few windshield wipers here to rinse that. And then moving to the other side. Planting both feet, bending the knees, and then hug the left knee towards your chest. Rotate your ankle one way, maybe the other way. Ooh, maybe you hear some cracking. And then grabbing your strap, belt, band, putting it on your left foot, right on the toenails. And then bringing it towards you. Again, check in. Lower back, supported by the mat, shoulder blades in, back of your skull pressing, slight tuck of the chin. Breathe. Start with a sweet bend of the knee. And then maybe slowly you can extend the leg if that feels okay. And you can play with your hand placement here. So maybe you bring the hands down closer to your body as you pull. Maybe the hands go closer to the foot. So find what works for you. Place the right hand on the right hip, strap on the left hand, and then very slowly extend that right leg down, right foot towards the bottom of the mat. See how that feels. Keep the hips grounded. And then maybe you open up that left leg towards the side. See how that feels. Notice the sensations. One more breath. And then very slowly come back to center. Release the strap. Plant both feet on your mat and then give yourself a few more windshield wipers. Someone else joining here. Welcome, welcome. Okay. All right. For the next posture, if you have blocks, you'll need at least one or a couple books. That works too. Place it at the highest height first to see. And place it kind of where your foot was, your right foot was. You'll see why. Okay. And then come back down. Hug your knees once more. And then bring the left foot down. That right foot is gonna come to that top of the block. So if you need to wiggle, adjust, give yourself that time. And then bring that left foot and place it on top of the right thigh. Figure 4. So I wanted to give you the block option because that is a very supportive option to be at for a stopping point. If you want to increase sensation or want to explore further, then you can bring that right knee towards the chest and you can wrap your hands behind your hamstring here, kind of threading the needle through that figure 4. So this is a more active version. This might be a bit less active. Okay, so find one that works and let's just take a few breaths here. You can use that left elbow to press against the left knee and keep that opening of the hip. Again, slight tuck of the chin, shoulders down, shoulder blades in. And then on the next exhale, release that. Bring the left foot down. Now you're going to switch that block. Place it where your left foot was. Hug both knees. And then place the right foot down, bend your knee, left foot on top of that block. Right foot comes in a figure 4 over that left thigh. Check in. Maybe this is a beautiful place to stay. Or we thread the needle and we wrap our hands around our left leg and behind the hamstring. So check in with the back of the skull. We have a tendency of wanting to pull here and we bring our chin towards the sky like this. So that's a lot of strain on the back of the neck and the spine in general. So tuck of the chin, chin to chest, pressing the back of the skull against the mat. Rooting down in your foundation. And then maybe see what it feels like to press that right elbow against the right knee as you open up the hip. Couple more breaths. Amazing. Release your leg. Bring back both feet. You can move your block away. And then we're going to come into all fours. There's a couple of options. There's the easy, not easy, but I guess the smoothest is just coming to your side and then seating and then coming to all fours. Or if your spine would like this, see what it feels like to roll a few times. And I know this might not be for everyone, especially if you have pain around low spine, but just see. Might be a nice sensation for the whole spine. Just a couple times until that feels okay, and then maybe coming through hands and knees. Finding your tabletop, so hands under shoulders. I'm going to switch so I can see all of your beautiful people here. Hi. There we go. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Find your tabletop first, right? So that stability, navel towards the spine, flat back, shining the collarbones forward. And then take a few cat-cows, inhaling, dropping the belly, lifting the crown and tailbone. Exhaling, rounding the spine. Dropping the crown. Inhale. Find your cow. Exhale. Cat. Cycle through a few more. Uniting breath with movement. And then find your tabletop again, neutral spine. Tuck your toes. Press into your hands. Lift your hips. Now we're facing dog. So first down dog of today. Keep a sweet bend in the knees first. Separating shoulders from ears. And then maybe drop your right heel as you keep the left heel lifted. That's going to give you a stretch in your calf, in that right calf. Stay there for a few breaths. So right heel is down or towards the ground. It doesn't have to touch the ground. Left heel is lifted. And then switch. Bring the left heel towards the ground. Lift the right heel. Feeling a stretch on the left calf. And then pedal slowly a few times. Ooh, hearing my ankles cracking. And then very slowly walking your feet towards your hands to find your forward fold. Keep a sweet bend again on your knees to allow this to be gentle on your low spine. And there's a beautiful option of bringing pillows, blocks, anything you have available under your face here so you can place your arms. Maybe you grab opposite elbows and place your forearms on blocks. Maybe you just rest your hands on blocks and just dangle here. If the forward fold is too much for you, you can also just bring hands to your quads here. So find your version of Uttanasana forward fold. No need to extend or keep the legs straight here. You can keep a sweet bend. If eventually you want to do that, you're more than welcome to explore that, but be very gentle. One more breath here. Okay, if you have anything under your hands, blocks, cushions, move them to the side for now. Plant your hands down and then bring the right foot back, coming into a runner's lunge here. So you're on your right toe mounts. Hands can be down to the ground or to blocks. Just for a moment. Feel that stretch. And then bring the right knee down. If your knee is sensitive, you can kind of fold the mat like this. And just place your knee down. That hips coming into a low lunge here. So find your low lunge. I find that blocks really help because I have short arms. So they bring the earth to you, or books or anything you have. Move a bit here. And then find stillness for a breath. Feeling the stretch in your hip. And then bring your hips back as you extend that left leg. So the key here, you might need to move the foot forward a bit. Toes come to your shin. And then instead of just plop, like dumping your hips back, because we tend to do that, especially if we're very flexy. Try to keep your hips stacked with your knee. That way, you might have more of a stretch behind your leg here. So keeping that hip stacked with the knee, left toes towards your shin, and just stay here, your half split. You can use blocks under your hands. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale to fold over that extended leg. Beautiful work. And then we flow in between those two. So inhale, come back to your low lunge. Exhale, bring the hips back to your half split. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale. Half splits. And if you have blocks, you can walk your blocks with you or walk your hands. Take your time. There's no rush. Just try to unite each movement with the breath. The back toes can be tucked or untucked, whatever works for your balance. One more at your own pace. And then the next time you're in your low lunge, pause. Take a breath. And then if you have blocks, bring them to the side. Launch your hands, tuck your toes. Come back into your runner's lunge, just for a breath. And then bring that right foot towards top of mat, forward fold. Again, sweet bend of the knees if you need to. Just dangle here for a breath or two. On an inhale, half lift. Bring the hands to shins or thighs, flat back. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands and we're going to the other side. Bring the left foot back. Runner's lunge or high lunge. Take a breath. Strong legs. And then lower that left knee. If you need to pad, roll your mat to protect your knee. And then you're welcome to bring your blocks along. Find your low lunge, take your time. Maybe you widen your stance, maybe you move a bit here. And then find stillness for a couple breaths. And your hands can be down on blocks or the earth, or if they feel better on your thigh, you're welcome to bring them here as well. Feeling that stretch in that left hip flexor. And then we go to our half split. So bring the hip back. Maybe that right foot kind of wiggles forward. Right toes pointing towards your right shin. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold over the extended leg. Check in with the hips. We also have a tendency to go one way or the other way. Squared hips, hips stacked over knee. Breathe into the back of the leg. And then flowing between the two. So inhale, come back to your low lunge, bending that right knee. Exhale, hip back, extending the right leg. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale. Split, a half split. Couple more at your own pace. You're looking great, everyone. And then the next time we're in our low lunge, we pause, take a breath. And then we place our blocks on the side, plant the hands, come back up to our runner's lunge. Take a breath. And then this time, instead of coming to our forward fold, we're going to plant the hands down and bring the right foot back to a downward facing dog. And bring the knees down, widen the knees around the edges of your mat, big toes together, hips back, reach arms forward, find child's pose. Breathe here. Forehead towards the mat or to your hands, even to a block. Just make sure the forehead is supported. Notice how the body's feeling. We're halfway and we're gonna enter the more yin part of the class. So we'll be holding postures for a little longer. Tuning into your breath. All right. Without any rush, and actually great time for water or tea. Start coming up. Planting the hands, come through tabletop. Maybe a few hip wiggles here. Intuitive movement is always welcome. So if at any point you're like, I actually want to do this other thing, or I want to come down to child's pose, please do. And once you're ready, tuck your toes, press into your mat, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Again, you can keep a sweet bend, you can pedal your dog, feeling that calf stretch. There's no need to touch, like bring the heels to the ground or anything like that. Every down dog is different, so own yours, honor yours. Then find stillness, separating shoulder from ears. And then inhale, lift the right leg up any amount. Then on the exhale, bring it in, like actually bring the right knee towards the right wrist. And coming down to your pigeon. I was going to bring you to a lunge, but done that. So coming to your swan, pigeon, there's many names for this. There's no need to have your shin parallel to the top of the mat. So you can actually have your foot as close to your groin or your hips as you like, okay? So check in. Try to not dump all of your weight on one side. So see if you can level those hips. If swan or pigeon is too much for you right now, you're welcome to come to 90-90 or deer, which basically is having your knees or your legs in a 90-90 degree. But again, there's always the option of bringing your feet closer to you. So see which version feels better today. If you're coming on swan or pigeon, find your leg foundation. So the back foot is extended down towards the bottom of the mat. And then we're gonna take the sleeping swan version. So we're actually gonna come down. And there's many stopping points. You can come to your forearms. You can actually hug a pillow. I love this version, or a bolster. Or just bring everything down. And you can do the same with your deer, right? So we're just folding over that front leg. And we're gonna stay here for a bit, for a few minutes. So in this moment, although there's a more active version of pigeon that you've probably done in your yoga classes, the invitation is to be in a more passive version. So we're actually not engaging the muscles right now. We're trying to really soften and melt here. So if you notice that you're gripping or holding fingers, toes, your buttocks, your legs, send your breath to those areas. And with each breath, see if you can soften even just the tiniest bit. This might feel very yummy in the glutes, hips, but notice, where do you feel it? Softening your cheeks, the space between your eyebrows, your shoulders. Really surrendering here. Couple more breaths. All right. And very slowly, very gently, start coming up from your swan or your deer. Move the bolster. Come onto that right hip. Place the right hand behind you. Bring both feet in front of you, bending your knees, and then give yourself some windshield wipers here. Ooh, that right hip is like speaking to me. Also, the piriformis, that muscle, it's right at your buttocks that sometimes aggravates sciatica, is also awake now. All right. Now, before going to the other side, we're gonna find square. I'm gonna face you. So just come to a cross-legged position first. And this is actually a beautiful stopping point. So if this is where you're going today, beautiful. Notice which leg is in front. So for me, right now is my right leg. So just notice. Take note of that. And then bring your shins forward so they're parallel to the top of your mat, or as parallel as they can be. And then you're gonna bring your knees together as the feet grow apart from each other. So you're starting to form a square with your legs, okay? And it might look very different for everyone, but that's all we're trying to looking for. So we're looking for parallel shins to top of mat, knees together, feet apart. Maybe you bring that front foot over that knee. So in this case, right foot over left knee, maybe. Or maybe your knee is up here, and maybe you bring a block under. So these are all beautiful options. And if you're like, Anita, no, thank you, cross-legged is beautiful. Okay. So find your version of square or fire log. And once you find your foundation for your legs, and if your knee is flying, try to see if you can support that. So with a cushion or something. Inhale up here. And then exhale to fold any amount, okay? So again, we can come to the ground, we can come to blocks, forearms to blocks, forearms to pillow. Yeah, great job. So you might feel that. In this case, I have my right leg on top of left, and I'm feeling it a lot on my right hip, buttocks, all that area. And breathe. This is also called double pigeon, I think, because if you look at it, you're kind of doing double pigeon with your legs. So it can be pretty intense. Give yourself grace and kindness to honor whatever version you are doing today. And as we always say in our yin classes, noticing that stopping point, and then throughout the posture, the time that we're holding in stillness, maybe the body opens, maybe you went too far, so you need to adjust. So always give yourself that permission. So if you need to come back a tad, or actually you want to fold forward a bit more, allow yourself to explore that. We're in stillness, but we're not prisoners here. So where is the breath? Mhm. Couple more. You got this. I know some of these poses can be challenging to hold. I know that. I understand. So that's the beauty of finding that point where you can linger. So we don't want you to be in pain here, or like holding on to dear life like I was at the beginning of this of this journey, but really finding a spot where you feel it, where you can linger, you can stay, and breathe through it. Really getting to those deep connective tissues. All right. Now start coming back up from your square. If you have any props, just move them to the side. And now for this, bring your hands behind you. Undo your square. So extend the legs in front of you very slowly. Be gentle. And then maybe give yourself a shake here. So shaking the legs, moving the ankles from side to side. Ooh. And sometimes I actually love cross-legged or with legs extended. No, it doesn't really matter. Inhale, bring the arms up. And then exhale, twist to the left. Just a reset. Inhale. Exhale here. One more breath. Exhale. Now inhale back to center. Exhale, counter twist to the other side. Couple of breaths in your twist. Inhale, arms back up. Exhale, bring them down. Okay, coming through your tabletop. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Maybe you welcome a few wiggles. Ooh, maybe one hip is like, yes. Let's go to the other side. And then when you're ready, tucking your toes, lifting hips towards the sky, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths in your down dog. Bringing your navel to the spine. Separating shoulders from ears, pressing into your hands. And then on the next inhale, lift your left leg up any amount. And then the exhale, bring the left knee towards your left wrist. Coming down to swan or pigeon on the left side. So check in with the hips. There's also the option, I have these small pillows here. And sometimes those are really handy, or even blankets to place under that left hip and level the hips a bit more, because we do tend to come to one side more than the other. So try that, see how that feels. And again, if swan is not good today, you're welcome to come to your deer, your 90-90 version. So check in with that left foot, see if you want to bring it closer to you, farther away. Right foot is down towards the bottom of the mat. And then pick your sleeping swan variation. So fold over that leg, and maybe you bring blocks, maybe you hold. I really love the hugging bolster, hugging blanket version. So it just feels so cozy. And we breathe here. Notice how this side feels. And you don't have to do the exact same thing in both sides. I think I always say this, but there's never enough reminders in this practice. Just we're not completely symmetrical. Each side is different. So honor your body and do what each side is asking of you today. How does this feel? And if the mind does what the mind does, it's okay. Come back to the practice with each inhale and each exhale. A lot of these like hip openers can move a lot of things inside of us, sensations, emotions, things, thoughts. So that's normal. The practice is to notice, to bring compassion and curiosity, but also know when it's what feels safe for you today. So you don't have to go any further, any deeper, anywhere you don't want to go, really. Couple more here. And on the next breath or two, start coming up from your sleeping swan. Move the bolster or prop away. Bring both feet in front of you, hands behind you, bend your knees, windshield wipers. Rinse. And on your windshield wipers, take them at any speed that feels okay. So maybe you go really slow and then you stay on one side and explore. Maybe you go faster, wider, or narrower. So you choose. And then when that feels complete, we're going to come to our square or fire log on the other side. So start with your legs crossed, different. So for me, it's the left foot is in front now. It's kind of like the weird way. You always start with the typical way. This would be the awkward way. So beautiful place to be, just cross-legged. Or maybe start bringing your shins parallel to top of mat. So bringing them forward. And then maybe bringing the knees closer together, feet further apart from each other. And then maybe you bring the left foot or that front foot on top of the opposite knee. Check in. You don't need to bring the foot. It's not like an extra layer going deeper. It's just a different variation. So if you're like right here and it's not serving you with the knee up here, you don't have to. There's always the option of placing a prop in between the left knee and the bottom foot, or just bring that foot down. Okay? Like for me, this might be a lot for today, so I'm going to keep the block. All right, so find your foundation on your legs. Take an inhale. And then on the exhale, fold any amount. Ooh, yes, left butt cheek. Okay, and we breathe. So yeah, you can also have cushion, bolster, lugs. Ooh, okay, see, right there, I went a little too far and my left glute was like, nope. So I'm walking my hands back up a bit. So that's part of the awareness and of the noticing, okay? It's not like I got here, I have to stay here forever. Softening your elbows, your shoulders. You can even lower the head if that feels okay. As long as it feels okay with your neck. Staying with the breath. Where can you soften? Where can you yield even just a little bit? Maybe it's your jaw, your teeth. Maybe it's your fingers, your toes. Have one more minute. So if you need to make any adjustments here, the body is opening and you want to fold forward a bit more, you're welcome. Or if you just even want to move to one side or the other side, you're always welcome to shift. Two more breaths. And start walking back up. Remove the props if you had any. Extend the legs, bring the hands behind you. Shake, 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 shake. Moving the ankles. And then giving yourself those seated twists. Inhale. You can bring the legs to cross or keep them extended. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, twist towards the left. Inhale to lengthen through the spine. Exhale to twist. One more breath on this side. Inhale, arms up, back to center. Exhale, counter twist. Right hand behind you. Left hand to that right knee or somewhere around that right leg. Try not to dump your weight on your low back, so stay tall, stay lengthened. And then inhale, arms back up. Exhale, bring them down. And get ready for sweet, sweet Shavasana. So again, just like we started, if you have a bolster, cushion, or rolled blanket that you can place under your knees, that's really nice to your lower back, which is part of why we're here. So try that, or if you just want to take a different Shavasana variation, please, by all means, you can place cushions under your head, a blanket on top of you, anything that feels supportive. Please do. And if you need anything else before Shavasana, welcome to take that as well. We'll all meet here at some point. Extending our arms by our side, sinking deeply. Maybe softening the gaze or closing your eyes. Noticing how you feel. And before I leave you for a few quiet moments of Shavasana, I want to share a poem by the beautiful Mary Oliver. It's called By the Wild-Haired Corn. I don't know if the sunflowers are angels always, but surely sometimes. Who even in heaven wouldn't want to wear, for a while, such a seed face and brave spine? A coat of leaves with so many pockets. And who wouldn't want to stand for a summer day in the hot fields, in the lonely country of the wild-haired corn? This much I know, when I see the bright stars of their faces, when I'm strolling nearby, I grow soft in my speech and soft in my thoughts, and I remember how everything will be everything else by and by. All right, my beautiful friends, I would love to give you 30 minutes of Shavasana, and you're welcome to stay here for as long as you need. You're at home, so, but if you'd like to close by coming to a seat, just start waking up your fingers and toes and bringing some movement into the body. Maybe moving your wrists, giving a few circles, your ankles, and bringing your awareness to your space, your breath. And again, welcome to close in your Shavasana, or maybe you come to one side in a fetal position, and then eventually finding a seat. And wherever you are, let's take 3 breaths together. Inhaling deeply through your nose. Exhale through your mouth with a sigh. Inhale. Let it out. One more deep inhale. Bring the hands to heart center and bow. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that this nurtures your low back, your hips, your whole body, because it's all connected, right? Give yourself some tender loving care today, and I hope to see you soon.